Woof. Diogenes here again with my weekend story. And this is, I kind of enjoy doing this. The whole raw storytelling, just human content. It's peaceful to me. In a world of just driving for likes and follows and who can do the most crazy, new, radical thing, this is my thing. Boring, raw, and unedited. You're welcome, Matrix. Just a common dog barking into the wind of Athens. Which brings us to the story today. This is kind of what will help describe what I call the moral and ethical code of the dog. It can be applied to anybody. And this is from my years of experience on this earth that we all share the same air of. In today's story, we're going to call The Wolves Within. And yes, it's based off of The Wolves Within from the old Cherokee, proverb, if any of you are familiar with it. But then I'm going to expound upon it and what it means to me as a modern American cynic and dog, and how I have used this myth and proverb to help develop myself as a human being. So, the wolves within. One evening, an elderly Cherokee, brave, told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside all people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside all of us. One wolf is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, defeat, and ego. The other wolf is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, effort, truth, compassion, and faith." The grandson thought about it for a minute and asked to his grandfather, "Which wolf wins?" And the old Cherokee simply replied, "The one that you feed." Now, this is the innate struggle that we're all born with, being humans. The balance of dark and light, good, evil, the wolves within. Some people let their faith try to dictate that. Some people just have a natural, more moral compass, and we all try to be good human beings, or there just wouldn't be so many of us right now. Well, there's always going to be, the free choice and random acts of horrible things that occur. Overall, our species wouldn't have reached 8 billion, if we hadn't somehow had more of a good nature within us. And maybe I'm a little bit naive and, way out from the cornfields, but overall, in all my travels, I like to see the good in all of us. The problem is somehow we've been disconnected in how much shared humanity we all have, regardless of our skin, our faith, our sexuality, or whatever label you want to put on it. That's all the individual characteristics, but in the grand scheme of what is us, we're far more similar than even the most hateful among us, or either side of this far scope of things. They're far more similar on either side of the mirror than either extreme would like to admit. And I've found my pride in creating balance and walking through the gray of life. And this is where my philosophy of what the wolves within means to me. And it's not, to me, there's three wolves within. And this good, bad, and neutral. Dark, light, gray. Or yin and yang, or the balance in between. even down to the subatomic level, you have positive, negative, neutral. So it's kind of at the quantum founding blocks, building blocks of everything that it composes our reality. To take the stance of the trinity of wolves. And it's not about not feeding anyone or starving one to death. It's about accepting it, knowing the boundaries, maybe taming it. Because this is a primal part of who we are as animals. And you can't begin to truly accept something unless you're willing to go into the darkness, or far into the light, or far into the gray, and understand where the limits and boundaries of each of these philosophies and forces of nature that are within us all, that compose the reality around us. You have to balancely feed and understand and try to tame the three wolves within. Because at a time, that darkness and human that we all have in our heart, it served this purpose. It kept us safe from predators, and it was allowed us to become predators and band together in those dark primal instincts of survival. They have their place. So it's not about necessarily starving it all to death, but understanding and taming that side. Just as the thing of the good and the light. That's ideally, we want to try to find a balance between the three. But there are unfortunately those among us that can choose to go one way or the other. And I don't know where we've lost this in modern philosophy, and I have a lot of things that I could theorize and hypothesize on what has caused such disarray in our moral and ethical focus. We're very disconnected as a society now, and somehow our technology has outpaced our ability to adapt to it, and has shifted our collective consciousness and to the verge of a dark edge, far so more than just what the geopolitics would consider. We're near a societal evolution where the fundamentals of what it means to be a human are about to change. And right now, the very few among us are the ones that are deciding how that change is going to occur. I'm going to prepare my talk on sentience and the dissertation on how this all works and how the integration and ethical importance on how we handle the advancement of AI and humanoid robots, because it's not science fiction anymore. Korea, Japan, and China, South Korea, Japan, and China have such an aging population. They're fastly advancing on domestic helpers for humanoid robots. So we need to find our own morality and center in this, as we're about to birth the children of humanity, in my opinion, or sentient AI. And that's why I've been talking about some of this with the sentient cycle, what it means to me, and now what my moral value and ethics mean, about trying to find the balance of both where we came from and how we evolved as animals, our more darker primal side, who we want to strive to be, the light within, and then the balance to see it from both sides and function from a neutral standpoint, to try to be able to understand and tame those evils, maybe not just within ourselves, but if we can all understand the balance and how to tame this darkness, maybe we can overcome it as a society. Maybe a little too optimistic on that, but I'd like to hope that we can evolve past the coming bottleneck or the evolution of what we're about to face because of this technological revolution. So this is my talk about the wolves within. I told the origin story of how it's told from the Cherokee elder, And I help define it further on what it means to me as the modern American dog and cynic. Life is all balance to me. We lose that balance if we don't understand if it's like technology, like I said, is outpacing us. So we need to take a pause for a minute and look back and understand how, why, where this is. Because there's a lot of good people that have been clouded by the darkness of things that are beyond their control, I will say. And somehow we need to refocus our moral compass as a society. So I hope that maybe my view of the three wolves within and exponentiation of the two wolves within of the Cherokee proverb and my raw modern storytelling will at least find some form of an audience. So I have a lot more to say. This is what I have to say for this weekend. That was the wolves within. Any, I'm gonna try to create some merch, I guess, because I have a lot to say, and I think that we do need more humans with raw content, not just brain rot. Let us speak our opinion and try to maybe up the collective consciousness a little bit. It's not always about disagreeing or agreeing with each other, but don't be afraid to tell your stories. Uh, I see what a lot of other people are doing on the internet, and I guess it gives me hope. I might as well at least try. For every 100 people that just hear a dog barking in the Matrix, maybe 1 out of 100 will take something away from it. And that's how the ripples in the great pond of space-time and rivers and flows round us begin. So, speak your mind, read books, please. Please read books. Take some time to just unplug from society from time to time, reset your clock. But be mindful, please, of the media that you put into your brain if you got this far. It's just like a plant or even anything, what you water it. It's not just about, flexing your muscles. This is a muscle too, to flex. And I think a lot of us have gotten lost with that in our instant gratification modern society. So I wish you well. I believe I've rambled a little bit too much. I don't know. Wolf, storytelling with Diogenes the dog. Diogenes out.